people from being separated from their families.
New Trump travel ban takes hold. Places like Venezuela, Haiti. Broadway's Tonys are handed out.
This means so much for a little Australian girl to be here on Broadway.
Good morning, I'm Cammie McCormick with the CBS World News Roundup. It was another chaotic night in Los Angeles as the protests continued over federal immigration raids. Jonathan Bigliotti begins our coverage.
We're here at what is the entrance to downtown LA, and you can see the destruction that's been caused here. You've got several vehicles that are on fire. We're told that these are Waymo cars. You have the National Guard here, LAPD. They put out tear gas, flashbangs that you hear right now to disperse the crowd. It has been working.
An act of violence, whether toward officers, demonstrators, or the public, will be met with swift and lawful action.
LA's police chief says dozens of arrests were made in the past 48 hours. LA Mayor Karen Bass.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. It's the last thing our city needs.
The latest escalation point, President Trump's deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops to LA against the wishes of city and state leaders, including California Governor Gavin Newsom, who accused the president of, quote, trying to manufacture a crisis to create chaos. Trump denied those claims.
There was a lot of violence there. There was a lot of violence, and it could have gotten much worse. And you have an incompetent governor, so we're not going to let this happen to our country.
President Trump's decision to use troops if necessary is raising some concerns, and he isn't ruling out deploying more. He spoke to military leaders last night from Camp David. Nicole Killian reports.
While top Republicans backed having Marines on standby,
We have to be prepared to do what is necessary, and I think the notice that might happen might have the deterrent effect.
Democrats condemned what they see as a politically motivated show of force. Former Vice President Kamala Harris said in a statement, the administration's actions are not about public safety, they're about stoking fear. No president has deployed the National Guard without a governor's request since 1965, when Lyndon Baines Johnson ordered the Guard to protect civil rights demonstrators in Selma, Alabama. A CBS News poll shows 54% of Americans approve of the president's program to deport undocumented immigrants, although nearly half believe the administration is trying to deport more people than expected.
President Trump's new travel ban takes effect today as part of the president's campaign of immigration enforcement. CBS's Torian Small has that.
The White House is certainly saying it's necessary. This new travel ban will essentially ban travel to 12 countries and partially restricting travels to about 7 others. The idea behind this, according to White House officials, is to tighten immigration controls because they say this is a national security concern.
As congressional Republicans continue to negotiate President Trump's budget bill, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar on CBS's Face the Nation urged them to reject the plan.
All we need is 4 Republicans to stand up against what Josh Hawley calls immoral Medicaid cuts. Just 4 of them. All we need is 4 Republicans to stand up against these food assistance that throws millions of people, veterans, seniors, kids.
Israeli forces have seized a Gaza-bound aid boat with activist Greta Thunberg on board. The Israelis insisted they were enforcing a wartime blockade.
The maritime zone of the coast of Gaza is close to naval traffic. It's south of the legal naval blockade.
The protesters on board said a mysterious white foam then appeared on their ship.
We are under attack. Please sound the alarm. They're throwing a lot of substances and objects on us.
There is another wartime about to happen.
The Freedom Flotilla Coalition, which organized the voyage, says the activists were kidnapped by Israeli forces. Ukraine says Russia launched nearly 500 drones overnight in the biggest bombardment of its type since the war began. Dozens of people in 6 states have gotten sick in a salmonella outbreak linked to eggs. Nearly 2 million eggs have been recalled. The brown organic and cage-free eggs are from the August Egg Company in California. Time on the roundup, 5 minutes past the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. It's 54 degrees in Lafayette, California. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dashcam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.